And welcome to today's Silver Lining Laughter.
Hello, everybody.
So, Karen, remember last time I said I
Yep.
had a few write-in questions, but I wasn't going to ask them at the end when we do a little off the top because I think
Right.
that they're not a little off the top quick questions.
Got it.
So, these are going to require a little bit of thought from you. I know you didn't
Okay.
sleep well last night, but
That's all right.
so what I want to do, I want to read you the three questions
Okay.
all together because they are related.
Okay. So it's like a domino effect answer.
Yes, but I want to
Okay.
go back then after I read through the questions and I'll read you one and give you time to answer and then I'll answer. Then we'll
Okay.
do two and three.
Got it.
So these are all back from, think back from when you were younger. And
Okay.
now that I'm eligible for AARP card, younger could be a a long time frame whenever you
Right.
choose to
I didn't know you were that old. I don't have AARP yet.
oh well you need to get it.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
All right. So the first one is something you are grateful for experiencing when you were younger.
Okay.
The second one, something you feel like you missed out on from experiencing when you were younger.
Okay.
And then the third one, something you did experience when you were younger and wished you hadn't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these are not just
These
like
are
rapid
right.
fire, boom, boom,
Right.
boom questions. So
Okay.
the first one,
The first one.
I something you are grateful for experiencing when you were younger. Now, I think we could just go on and on about this one. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure we're a little concise here. Do you want me to go? Because
Yes. I'm
I
just
saw
thinking
the
about it.
questions.
Right.
So,
Yep.
something that I am grateful for experiencing being raised in a small town,
Okay.
because I think that it allowed for a lot of freedom as far as you all go play and we'll just open the back door and call you to come home and
Right.
stuff like that. Also, being raised at a time before social media.
Yes.
And I think that middle school, high school, and college
Yep.
are kind of the time frame that I'm so glad we didn't have social media because
Yeah.
we made mistakes and did dumb shit. And it wasn't like a permanent record to
Right.
be replayed
Right.
that. And of course, the other thing, I'm grateful for a lot of experiences I've had with my parents. And I think
Right.
one of those would really be like I would go to work with my dad when he was building houses and stuff. And
Yep.
he always introduced me as the boss. Like I carried a notepad, a little pencil, like, really thought I was the boss. Like until I was like, I put some of that in the book I'm working on. So until I actually put that on
Right.
paper, it never dawned on me like he could have done that so much faster and easier without me there with my, I
Right.
writing stuff and
with your
taking
with
notes.
your little Hello Kitty notepad.
Yeah, with my Hello Kitty notepad, but it just gave me a lot of work experience at a very young
Right,
age. So those are
right.
my things I'm grateful for.
Okay. All right. I have to agree with the being without social media because when I was young and I still have these friends to this day, um, Jeff and Danny and Tim, the Coopers and all these people, we would just go out on a Saturday morning and we wouldn't come home until the street lights came on. And parents didn't know where we were. We could have been, we were biking, we were jumping, we were making ramps over picnic tables and jumping over people with our bikes. And we were down at the creek and catching crawdads and making dams. And I mean, we really playing baseball and kickball and hide and seek and tag. And um, kids can't do that these days. I mean, we really just we had a great childhood and I was very happy that I experienced that. So I agree with you on that one. So that's one of the things and of course I could go on, I'm so grateful that I experienced, going fishing with my dad at an early age, especially since he passed away and you know, things like that.
Yeah, I think that it's interesting looking at our answers. We're very much Gen Xers. Like
Yes.
there's not a lot of things we talk about where I'm like, okay, if you were to ask that question from somebody, either a baby boomer or a Y or a Z, would you get
Right.
a different answer? But as X is kind of known as the latchkey kids, we were just off
Yep.
doing and taking care of ourselves. And,
Come
it's,
home,
I
have a
wonder,
snack, do your homework, then you can go out and play. Call me, let me know you're home. Okay, hey mom, and can I, I'm home, we're home. Okay, we're bye. And then that's it. She didn't hear from us again until dinner.
yeah, and sometimes not to graduation. No,
I know.
no, not
True.
that bad, but yeah, so I do find that unique. So this
Yeah.
next one, something you feel like you missed out on experiencing when you were younger. I've seen this question and I've changed my answer multiple
Okay.
times, and I still don't feel like I've nailed it because first I wish I would have traveled more. And then I went back and I was like, well, in high school, I went to Vegas, I went to Florida, I was on boats offside of here, there. Like I didn't do any international traveling when I was
Right.
younger. And I think that early 20-ish, that would have been a good time for that. So
Right.
I believe traveling, but it's particularly international. And I thought I felt like I've always missed out on a large university experience going to a smaller college,
Right.
but I don't think I wouldn't have probably been in a sorority. I don't think I would have flourished there. Like I'm not even going to put that anymore because I was at the school
Right.
I was meant to attend.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what I was sorry I missed out on other than I don't know I don't know what I missed out on with my dad dying when I was so young. Like he didn't come to my high school graduation. He didn't see me go off to University of North Texas. He didn't see me, you know, play soccer. Soccer was a huge part of my life in high school and college, even after college. And I'm still friends with some of those soccer players that I met in high school and soccer. I mean, high school and college. Um, but so I think I don't know what I missed by not having my dad around, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah. So it's really more time with him and
right,
his experiences.
right, right,
Yeah. It's really hard to look back and say, I wish I would have done X, Y, and Z. You know, I mean, I guess I wish I would have maybe gotten into acting or done a different career, but I don't know. Maybe I would have sucked at it. Like, I don't like to second guess things too much. All right. So the last question,
yep.
I've been around on this one too. Something
Okay.
you did experience when you were younger and wished you hadn't.
Um, I went fishing with my dad. I must have been 8, maybe 10. My brother and I went fishing with my dad, and we were in the boat, and he got his line, or I got my line. Someone got their line caught up in the trees that overhung, like the lake was here, and then the tree overhung here. So he put the boat up and he went under to get the line out, and he turned around and there's a huge wasp nest right there. And he turned around, he's like, get out of the boat, get out of the boat. And he ran out through the back of the boat and jumped off into the water. And then my brother and I jumped in the water, and then he pulled the boat out. And when we got away from the wasps, we got back in the boat and we came home, and he was so swollen. He had gotten bit like tens of times and so swollen and everything. And that was an experience I wish I hadn't witnessed, wish I hadn't been there. Although everything turned out great. But I just felt really badly for him. And it was, and this couple was sitting in their boat fishing, and they're like, y'all need anything? We're like, we got 2 kids here and a man jumping in. Yeah. So anyways, that's one I wish and I got hit by a car when I was young. So
How bad was that?
I was in the second grade, and if you hear my family talk about it, I milked it for everything it was worth. I flew up on the windshield and came back down, and they had to cut my favorite pair of tough skins. And I think that I broke my leg, but I didn't. But I ended up going to second grade on crutches. And as my mom would say, whenever she was looking at me, I was on those crutches, boy. But as soon as she wasn't looking, I was out playing, having a good time.
Yeah, that's a good one. That sounds about right.
Yeah. It's like when I went to school, I was on crutches, but when I came home, my leg felt great.
Yeah, so I think on this one, there were a lot of things I would say I experienced as a kid that
Okay.
at first I thought I wish I didn't experience.
Okay.
But without those experiences, I don't think you become who you are today, right?
Yep.
Because
Yes.
like, oh, I had a lazy eye. Teacher wanted to put me in special needs classes because I couldn't
Right.
use scissors because of my lazy eye. Like there's all these things, but they built character and they made me who I am
Right.
today. And all
Well,
there's
yeah, I mean, yes, and I agree with that because, obviously, if there was something that I experienced that I wish I wouldn't have, would be my father dying.
yeah. And
But that's
honestly, I thought you were gonna say that
right.
100% hands down.
And I, of course, I wish I wouldn't have done that, but I don't have, like, I don't know what my life would be like if he was here. Like, I don't know if I would have everything I have and, love who I love. And so I've referenced the movie before in our podcast. I think it's Sliding Doors, where Gwyneth Paltrow or someone gets off a subway, and that part of the movie goes one direction, and then she gets off the subway and it goes a negative direction. So I just wonder if so that's why I didn't say it, because I think as much as I wish it hadn't happened,
Right.
I don't know what I could be. I battled with depression. I battled with not fitting in and feeling like I don't belong and all that. And I don't know if I would survive all that.
Yeah.
Lose my father.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Anything I put down on this, I took off after I had time to rethink it.
Yep.
The one thing that I think I can leave on this list, and you're gonna
Okay.
laugh, but it's when I found that kid in the pool. I think
Yeah.
I wish I didn't experience that
Right.
because I don't see how that me pretending I wasn't there for all those years and all that stuff.
Right.
I don't necessarily see how that impacted me positively yet.
Right.
Like check back
Right.
in 5 years or something. Maybe I've
Right.
connected a dot but that's the one thing. Most of the other things, even if they were more tragic, I'm like, I see the benefit of that or why that happened to me.
Right.
So I was able, like you said, to deal with things further down the line. But that
Yep.
one little incident, I think I'm
Yep.
going to leave on the list.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. So that was our questions, but I have some really good news. I want
Okay.
to
What?
get your reaction to this.
Okay.
Evidently,
Yes.
our last show,
Yes.
are you ready for this?
Uh-huh.
Was good from the beginning,
Wait,
middle,
what?
and end.
No way.
Yes.
So who did you pay to say that?
Oh, the same one that said we're good from the
Good
middle
from
to
middle
the
to
end.
end.
So
All right.
this was the favorite episode. It was good from
All
the
right.
beginning to the end.
Okay.
Then
So that's our bar that we have to sit at and drink it. No, I mean, that's the bar we have to raise. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and I know that it was because it's about pets. It was a fun show. We had some funny
Right.
stories in there. And then when we get these serious questions that we've got to answer, it's a little hard to find our
Right.
funny stories and tell me about how this changed your life. But
Right.
but anyway, So I think we do have a few minutes.
Okay.
Even though we probably really don't, but let's just ask a few lighter questions that are
Okay.
more a little off the top.
All right. Now I want to say this, the people watching here, we're asking y'all these questions too. So
Yeah.
take the questions, tell us your funny stories, tell us your experiences, tell us, because we'll bring those up and that will lead to other stories too.
All right, we're going to go with 3 this time, so we
Okay.
can move through them.
Yep.
Would you rather fly or have super strength?
Fly.
Yeah, that's. I think most
I'm
people.
pretty strong, isn't it? I'm just joking.
Yeah, yeah, you're bringing guns to the show. No.
Yeah, I gotta go to the vet because these puppies are sick.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Would you rather find your dream job or win the lottery?
Win the lottery.
Yeah, me too. I mean, come on. I mean, although I do have a little bit of that work addiction going on, I think if I won the lottery, I could create my dream job by just
Exactly.
doing a little something on the side to benefit other
Right.
people, you know?
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to ask that one.
Get a good one.
Um,
Leaving on a good note. Except we're probably going to get in trouble for this little pause here.
Yeah, I know. Keep it rolling. Expensive presents or homemade presents?
Homemade is fine. They
What
don't.
do you mean
be,
it's fine?
Well, I'm not. I'm not into expensive presents. I mean, if it's the thought that counts. I don't care how much it costs. Let's put it to you that way. I don't necessarily want a homemade present, but I don't necessarily want an expensive. I want a present that is thoughtful.
That's really hard sometimes to give
Yes,
people
it is.
thoughtful gifts. And I think some people are harder to buy for than others.
I just think that it doesn't matter how much it costs as long as it's a very thoughtful, like my best friend got me a gift. She's got me several that are very thoughtful. But one of them, she gave us all the Party of Five girls a book that had pictures of our cruise, our catamaran trip.
Oh,
and
how awesome.
that's all it was a book of our trip. I think that's very thoughtful. My girlfriend had gotten me for Christmas a advent calendar, but it was beers, the 24 tastes of beers, and she knows I'm an avid beer flavor. I love the flavor. I love trying beers. So I thought that was thoughtful. So it just depends. It doesn't need to be expensive. I just like thoughtful.
Yeah, I see you have a guest with you today.
Yeah, she's always here. I mean, this is Arya again. She was on the last episode.
Yeah, she really likes to show up for the filming. And considering she lives next door and she's made almost she makes every episode where you're doing them for
maybe we should have her as a guest star. We could have her parents as a guest star and see what they say about her. That's it. That's all. She's walked away now.
All right. Well, everybody, don't forget, subscribe, answer these questions in comments below, the ones that we ask.
Share it, ask your friends, start the conversation.
Yep. All right. And we'll see you next time.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.